hopes for Liquid, right? I think that absolutely nails it. Coming into Ascent here, one big bonus is actually Bastardo being back on the jet. Much more comfortable role. We know we struggle with some of the flex in some of these compositions, so that's a real positive coming into Ascent here for Liquid.
Well, we are now seconds away. G2 jumping into this one. This is a map that is going to be a little sore for them, still having that loss relatively recently, whereas Liquid, of course, looking to pick up that reputation. We're live into this one. The audience joining us here today, looking a little in favor to G2.
Cool.
And quickly reminded as to why maybe they can't write Liquid off.
See Knife coming in from all the way on the other side from Mimi. A little ahead of the curve there on that peak. Mary will be punished. Really though, Mimi's made her way over towards defensive spawn outside B. Liquid just cutting sound for the time being. Actually still a double stack with Glance and Giuliano over towards short, but this Aldron should be a big indicator. Petra might feel the pinch pretty quickly here.
See if Mimi can do any chip damage prior to that door shutting. Didn't quite get what she would have wanted there. So this is lovely work so far for Liquid. Taking over the side quite comfortably. Yes, losing one on the way, but this should be a safe plant. I don't think there's been much to really add too much issue to that. No. So Spike now down. Mimi and Glance the two to try and break back in against the 4. Standing relatively healthy on Liquid, even with some chip damage.
Cleaned up very quickly there, ahead of any pressure coming towards Sign. Actually, Naxi picking up 1 kill over in that lurk position towards top mid. Key in terms of catching that rotation. As I said, Mimi did actually entertain the thought of coming across and double stacking just ahead of Mary falling here at the start of it. It's an unfortunate angle there. Mary actually exposed a little more so than I imagined she thought. Confident start for Liquid here. A similar setup once again. On the attacking side at least, with 4 members of G2 over towards A side. Mary
Let's get this done.
Maybe coming across to just place a safe TP, yeah, so classics across the board, not expecting too much resistance in the form of Petra here towards B side if Liquid do force the issue.
And for Liquid, I do want to see not just, and talking bigger picture here, because this is just classic, so this round shouldn't pose too many problems, and already Petra being the one down to 23, this should be par for course. I do want to see confidence, I do want to see dominance on this map, because we know that G2 can run it back. They are happy to go to these sort of depths. Now, at this point, Spike is going to be going down.
Giuliano, I was going to say, just catching a headshot there, already used the heal for Petra. DRN going to line up 3 hits. Beautiful cleanup.
Confidence builders there for DRN, and you want to see these players feel comfortable on the stage. Certainly getting used to it now. They have had that busier schedule, the busier side of the schedule at least. Keep themselves warmed up, plenty of server time. And on the other side, of course, G2 be able to watch the vast majority of these games prepare for the opponent. So very much polarizing in that experience. But the last 2 players, be surprised if they get much. Maybe just trying to posture for some exits, but given no opportunities at this so far. DRN wants to get out of there, and Mimi won't attempt to catch anyone. No, not going to happen. So Mimi now knows this is probably cooked, and it is clean work from Liquid Force, standing, keeping both Bulldogs, Spike down, really navigating any potential threats G2 could have potentially posed.
Yeah, looking towards this round now, first buy round for G2, whether or not they want to kind of slow things down here or even speed up trying to find this opener. Obviously with this composition, it's Mary that they're really going to look to put in a position to find that engagement early on. I'll switch up once again, but keep my eye on Mary's TP of exactly where she's going to end up. Trap set towards Pizza, so maybe an early peek into mid here with the wall. Just close off B. There's been heavy presence outside B here from Liquid.
Yeah, they've very much set the precedent that this is something they want to try and win consistently. They're willing to fight for early B main control, and actually Mary able to slip a little bit deeper through towards middle.
And not spotted actually by Daiki as well.
Correct, so she can post up here if she wants to for quite some time, depending on when she feels that pressure coming back in, or if maybe Giuliano does call for maybe some audio cues. Mimi as well, very dangerous throughout, almost mirrored to an extent, but it does look like that search party leaning back through. Mary's time to shine, 3 players on the other side. How diligent will Liquid be? Oh, the timing, disastrous, but Mary does get away. Keeps her life for now, and we look across the rest of the map. It's leaning towards this A site. Mary trying to fill that void towards tree. Utility put into place to maybe try and disrupt this pinch coming up short. Glance is on an island here, has to commit to this.
I say Glance actually getting ahead of one. Looked like a pop flash setup, but Mimi going to find the second when that split through short. And Nachi and Naxi actually responding with kills of their own. Daiki now
huge.
Going to win out versus Glance.
This was the rifles that G2 had up against Liquid with bits and pieces. Giuliano needs some of his heroics to come through here. A 1v3, and they have 2 recovered rifles and the Bulldog to boot. Gonna go for the safer plant this time around. Give no opportunity to Giuliano. Looking for the first victim, finds the first target. Notes the second, and can assume the third would have gone for the plant. But there it is. Clean work in the bonus here. Team Liquid really navigating again those threats. We saw Mary postured up in middle, that pinch coming towards tree. This all worked out very well for Liquid.
The Mary push, I mean, if that just goes any other way, potentially even 2 kills there before dipping away, but we saw the timing, getting a little bit paranoid about some top mid presence. Which obviously Daiki was positioned there, didn't show her hand whatsoever. Again, interesting to see. I'm not sure if that was just an audible call there, because Mimi looked like she was set up for a pop flash to enable Glance to find that pick towards A main, but ended up just pushing it, find it anyway.
Yeah, and I do want to see that tested more often. How does that little duo look? How does the combination look towards A, controlling that A main presence? Because so far, Liquid are bringing a very, very fluid game, looking wonderfully well-rounded in this. And again, Mimi finding a little bit of space, and this could be tells for later on to explore, but you can see where that fairy tale may end around this corner. DRN very prepared for anyone to try and start pressuring this, maybe considering Mary's exploration mission just around prior. And timing's everything. Who gets it? And it's checked on.
Even with the flash as well, though.
Heads up play here, and DRN taking a lot of damage. Don't forget that. That's a real vulnerability. Maybe closed up there. As Glance goes down, it does bring it back to this 4v3, and most of those threats are starting to be handled. They've got to be careful on the time, though, Mike.
No, indeed. Bastardo did spot Mary's cross. Really actually finding the angle there. Giuliano. Going to play close contact here, but punished. Mary actually with a trade, though. Beautiful wallbang to come through. Still, 2v3 here. DRN down to just 5 HP, so this is doable here. No retrieve weapons, though. It's going to be the concern for G2. Actually, no headhunter shots left either for Mary.
So a quick
upgrade to the Sheriff, yeah.
Yeah, that's why they took a few additional steps towards short there by tree to gather that, but now the opportunities are limited. Now that plant's down, this does get really hard to find some of those problems. Still on hand, flash on the swing. That's going to put you on the chopping block. Oh, Mary finds another. DRN goes down now. Now they're going to know the position and the pressure. Mary is postured up, but this gets taken down in the 1v1. Petra tries to tap on the defuse. Naxi, calm, cool, and collected. The Red Bull clutch denies any of that danger G2 are trying to build. It wasn't pretty, but it is 4-0.
Again, the flash through door looked perfect there. Mary still stands her ground, finds the first. DRM, we noted, down to 5 HP, just caught in no man's land out on sight. Beautiful shot from Mary to open that. The double headshot as well to Nachi as well. Even here, it's very difficult to really secure that kill in main. Well, that time had run through as well. The big positive though, damage done. Actually off the rip here, going to pop the null command. It's a fast A hit here, Lauren.
Love a pace change. Now, be it work out or not, we'll find out. But I really like them turning the screws here, playing with confidence, playing with some of that dominance we were asking for and requesting at the very start. So into the post plan, and already that first pick. Mimi now removed you down to 4 for G2 to try and work their way back in on this A site.
Still lots of utility here as well. With their ability to just force their way onto the side with the null command. Big shock die, actually. Ton of damage onto Petra and Giuliano. Going to slow things down, but Petra coming through with the Odin here.
And the lockdown. Invested. Petra finds one. Looks for a follow-up. Sprays and prays. Asada down below. Playing from hell. Beautiful pickup. And looks like the mouse had a moment there. Not going to lie to you. There's Giuliano left in the 1v2. Let's forget it for now. As Giuliano looks like she's going to wrap this round. Get that operator and back away. So Liquid walking away potentially here with another round, but we do need to see if Giuliano keeps this operator. Quite a boon and a missed shot. Lovely from Liquid. This is a big wake-up call back here for G2.
Yeah, and we talk about G2, the ones to really be the masters of momentum, right? And their ability to just steamroll, kind of almost play with arrogance, right? Just looking for these raw gunfights here. Liquid in the driving seat. They're dictating the pace. Not allowing G2 for any of these individuals to shine whatsoever. I think it was actually an early celebration here from Bastardo.
Oh my god, it was? I thought it was the mouse.
Yeah. I thought I noticed it on the player cam there. Confirmed with the replay. Again, Naxi coming through, punishing that economy even further, removing that operator. Tour de force available though. So maybe we'll have a scope regardless. Sheriffs to round things out. At this point, I mean, well, Nachi and Bastardo down to 1450 apiece. Blade Storm available to offset that. Again, you're not even really looking for damage here.
Mary. Gonna notice another player, gets back to TP and gets out of danger. So a bit of a trade out, but that is the danger player noted now.
Yeah, no risks taken as well. Didn't want to hang around for a second opportunity there. Heads up play from Mary. Actually going to pick up this angle on short. They'll drift in this way. I mean, Nachi got the knife online. So a well-placed suppress could actually make this a little easier on the way in.
Certainly could, and you've seen those rotations now probably going to be confirmed by the owl drone as well. More confident in it, and away we go. Bastarda straight towards the side. Look and see if Mary does get controlled here. Not going to be the case, and this is where the problems could really start to mount. The slow going to deny the quick presence and isolate the first on the side, which is Bastarda. Now, can't just go for that quick plant. Now just going to be hope to be kept safe, and player advantage is with G2. Yes, it is Sheriffs and that tour de force, though.
Actually, no command popped all the way back through here for Mimi. Mary with the headhunter, and going to find
Mary! What an absolute bouncing round from Mary! Incredible work, and one more to find. And around the world they're going. Now they don't predict the timing on this one, but the defuse, they can't stop it in time. This has been wondrous from Mary. There's a reason we questioned them going towards that A site. They found the danger player early, and they decided to run their luck. And look what happened.
To say, not really looking for damage in this sort of round, but Mary makes it work with the tour de force. Beautiful opener onto DRN. And like you said, the timing, the placement of this kill here isolates Bastarda on site. Even here, just looks for the opener. What a round. Fantastic stuff. An absolute disaster for Liquid. Yes, the scoreline fairly comfortable. Not really going to feel the pressure too much in terms of the repurchase, but that's one to definitely slow that momentum Liquid built early on.
And I had the pleasure of sitting actually in the audience for one of the previous G2 games. Got to watch that play out, and I've got to say, for the young player, Mary is one of the more vocal ones. Obviously, we saw Petra and Mimi
she's
having the
active on stage,
She is loud, she's got that confidence, she's got that kind of young gun approach to it, and it's great to see her active. Because the others, hey, if you're having a bad game, if you're not quiet, you're like, okay, we've got to pick it up a little here, a little bit more focused, introverted. She has that Zuma confidence just, by the bucket load. So great to see her propping up the side here for now, because they are sitting in a massive deficit. We've got to flip the coin here and look at Liquid as well.
Yeah, just to come back to Mary as well, like I said, the decision-making in that, you find that kill, no risks taken. Retreats all the way back, waits for that rotation to come through. There's no overheating factor.
Very impressive of a player that young as well, to not
Especially when you can do that in a round.
Absolutely, you've got all that potential, you decide to be composed, really play it to the absolute letter. And to flip the script, though, we still have to give credit to this initial scoreline from Liquid. We'll highlight it every time we see it. This is not a repeatable round. Mary is a phenomenal player, but okay, just find 5 for the next couple and we'll see where we're at. Until this point, Liquid have been reigning supreme. They have been running this game. I don't know if there is a long-term solution yet made by G2.
Turret destroyed.
Petra actually testing the waters once again. A little bit of a bait, actually, with how deep this wall is. Nachi nearly losing a life for it. Petra, likewise, down to 30 HP. We'll be able to grab a heal, though.
DRN caught sleeping. Straight up napping. What?
G2 really switching. This is a shift walk out catwalk.
And considering where the rest of Liquid were, that is quite surprising they got there, but they were completely unawares of the possibility. Deep flash towards middle just to retake a little bit of that space coming in, and Mary wants the pick and gets one. Quick trade, though. They still know that Mimi is around here. Now, the rest of G2, do they try and bail her out? Do they try and play around it? Do they try and support this glance? Has a little bit of utility to play here. Mimi is in a whole lot of trouble.
Ooh.
Just about alive.
Juliana going to come through, though. Finds a headshot. Nachi returns, but glance there to find the final kill. Beautiful round from G2. All this happening off screen. Like you said, DRN almost caught sleeping there. No awareness of what could be going on elsewhere on the map, and I think actually it's on the back of 3 members outside B, and a little bit of pressure there, so they're calling to wait. They're calling to hold off until this engagement has run dry.
Yeah, this is...
Mary looking sharp, though, again.
Yeah. Enemy remaining.
Looking really solid in this game, and you saw the support, not over-committed, not too quickly jumping in to maybe feed into that. You don't want to see those 2v4s starting to come into effect, but very well played out. But a little bit of, the alarm starting to ring for Liquid that, okay, we really need to keep control of the map because a little bit of that aggression has now paid off a couple of times.
Give G2 an inch, they'll take them on. It's plays like this, it's almost like the distraction run on B main. See, Started very quickly up short here with the Blade Storm. An opportunity to punish this A main setup.
And DRN's gone down. It's really on Bastardo to make something of this. Mimi looking a little wounded. The follow-up labored, and the shutdown from G2 out of nowhere.
Blink and you'll miss it. It's like that, the pinch through on this A split. Fantastically coordinated. And just like that, actually, within 2 rounds. This purchase will bring pretty much everything out of Liquid's inventory. So an opportunity here for G2 to really tie things up.
Watch this one again, because it was so hectic towards the end, but it was so quick for G2 after so much initial pressure was coming through. I thought we
Great
started
awareness
finding
from
space.
Petra as well to pick this lurk up.
Absolutely.
Even in the chaos there.
Quite a little hero play, but we see Liquid going back to what was working. This B look, but look who's waiting. Mary around the corner, and again, Mary, the start and end to some of these stories that Liquid are trying to write. The 4 remaining now have that initial plan denied.
They're in a position once again to do damage. He said good read as well. Actually, with the Odin to catch a couple more tags on the way out as well. Daiki down to 56 HP, Nachi down to 77. Ultimates to invest, but Liquid already very early on in recovery mode.
But I quite like the patience being shown. I was kind of curious to see if Mary would readjust towards Cat, maybe make a peek towards middle after denying that pressure
Looks like
towards
it might
B.
come here with a flash.
It could be the later piece with utility.
Not even
There
a
it
flash.
is. Dry peeking out and finding one. Audacious play. This is confidence building, but it's not overzealous. It's not over pressuring. It really is beautiful watch. Very composed for such a young player. And now the pressure again, still leaning towards that B side, looking to congregate back around towards this. And Petra's here, trying to be that final marker if they need it. Glance, I think, coming over. Petra finds one. CT gets broken in on, so they have a little bit of room, a little bit of breathing room until then. Hand around the throat. This is just DRN left alive. Dealt with G2. Finding form here. Springboarding off the back of Mary's work, and it's not stopped.
Yeah, and looking so active around the map. Like you said, patience shown there. I thought maybe it was going to be a flash to come through from short, but didn't even matter. Mary all over the map right now.
Such an impressive way to play. We had kind of the aggression on the start there to get that first pick, falls away, finds a new spot. It's beautiful to watch, a really nice approach to the map, and already 13-7 for Mary. This could be the one where we really start to see her come into her own. On the other side for Liquid as well, a couple of players. It's generally all of them though. They're all having an okay performance, but they've now finally been, let's say the initial look has been solved. Let's say that for now. The operator being in play, whatever it may be, has really started to favor G2 now. How much adjustment does Liquid have? How many times are they pressured like this? How many times are they put in this predicament? This is where we see the depth of that map pool knowledge, how deep they go in this composition, and what they've been working on in the meantime.
The next real counter available here. Nachi does have that null command, whether or not they're almost going to revert back to that pace change. We did see that hit towards A. It worked out very, very nicely for them. Again, great counter towards Mary. If she is going to post up, and actually whether or not the awareness is there for Mary to actually sit a little deeper now.
A change, yeah. Because it does become that chess game of, okay, well, I have to force them, or they may be using more utility to try and clear my position. I can get them to run through that so early on, so many different looks. But again, that's what we're going to be looking out for here. The buy is a little bit shaky. It's a little bit here and there. It's not going to be the big fight, right? This isn't going to be the one where they can put up that equal fight by any means. It's 2 Bulldogs, Spectre, Sheriff, and they do have the ult ready to go. The null command is there.
Actually, Mary TPing away from this will be noted at least on the reposition, but doesn't even matter.
Again,
stands a grab by just second.
Again, Mary reigning supreme. Still has support there as well. Not alone by any marker. Mimi keeping them safe. And a reposition. You're playing with fire here, Liquid.
Dancing with death there.
Dangerous. They need something to happen. They need something to break here if Liquid want to weigh in, because they've lost so much of that potential approach towards the site now.
Can really secure this hold. Giuliano still picking up the slack in mid. That wall on B main invested as well, so no threat coming on that side, which has allowed G2 to stack 4 over here. 2 Bulldogs and a Sheriff though, so still possibility for Liquid to do some damage. Petra on guard once again with that Odin.
Yeah, glance. And Petra, nice work. And the last found there, G2. Again, Prime Gaming flawless here, just very clean, very, very nice. No one overstepping towards main, no one getting overly, again, ambitious to towards trying, do damage. No Eco Cobras there. There were some threats in that purchase from Liquid.
Instead, discipline shown. Giuliano holding down the entirety of the rest of the map. But even with 4 members towards A, there's no overpeakers,
nope.
right? There's nobody, like you said, a little audacious. Mary just landing shot after shot. And concern being now with how active she's been. Operator in hand, tour de force available as well. Liquid don't have an awful lot behind this, and this is round 11. So this almost feels like a must-win here. If they want a chance to come into round 12 with some weaponry.
What did they learn from that previous round? I guess the one bonus here is that Mary isn't, right? The classic, wherever CNED is, go somewhere else. Now, Aldrone actually going to challenge Glance, but Glance hasn't moved away from this. They're still sticking by this wall, and away they go. Vastara going to put life on the line. The adjustment's gorgeous. Stunning spray between the two. Finally, the response in, but there's still plays. No way, you don't expect Giuliano. Still going to grab one, but it is a 2v2. Mary and Petra. Nashi and Daiki still alive here, and the slow creep out from Petra confirms the presence.
This is Fury available here for Petra. Still got Odin in hand. No possibility of a swap out.
You should run.
Actually got the recon back. I mean, Hunter Fury. Perfect counter here. Good to deal with that pretty easily.
But they do get the plant at least. So
I was going to say, yeah, Mary actually not posted up on the back of that.
Oh, this could be huge. I wonder if she gets the timing.
Recalling my body.
She
I
could
think she's
find
gonna.
the perfect timing as they are completely unawares! A peekaboo! Team Liquid back in the game, breaking ahead on the board once more.
Beautiful reposition from Naxi as well. To look exactly how the funds will lie. And again, should be able to get rifles, at least in 4 hands here. Light shields to round things out. G2 still looking pretty after that run of 5 rounds. And even here, I love the awareness from G2 previously on that null command when it was available. It was a massive pace change towards A. So Giuliano coming across, investing that wall off the rip and looking to reinforce that hold. Again, right back the other way now. Liquid has 5 stacked outside B. Petra has nothing but Mary's trap to slow things down on the way in here.
And that's gone. Vastara straight in. No mercy shown. Vastara wants in and doesn't get it. Petra this time. Big denial. Third for Petra. Quiet on this side, but showing why she can be that anchor. And now the 2 players remaining need that plant. They need it down now. Support system is Nashi. That is it. The flash going to force her off the angle and allow Mimi to get in towards the site. Over by Switch. DRN. Paranoia. Denies vision. It's all coming together, and now it's down to 1. A 1v3 standing. Make it 1v2. Giuliano. Safe pair of hands at the end, and somehow this scoreline goes from where it started to where it ends at 6 apiece.
A crazy back and forth. G2 going on a run and closing out round 12 to tie things up for the half. But Mary, man, got to talk about it. What a dominant half from her.
Something just, really showing so much potential in that young player. The little lion coming alive when they needed her most. It was just wondrous to watch the confidence, but not overconfidence coming into play.
Absolutely, and Liquid, even after having that fantastic start, things felt a little laboured in the...
Thank you very much, Pansy and Hypoc. It was a little bit laboured for Liquid towards the end, but what a start, Sapphire. And also 6 rounds on the attack. That's very, very good.
Yeah, it was a good start. Like you said, we needed them to come out with aggression, set a tone. I think it was in round 5 that they had this really, really nice quick push on A. They got the plant incredibly quickly, and then they're making sure they go for that operator on Giuliano, so they were able to take that quick control. Unfortunately, Mary just came out of nowhere and just started firing, getting aces. So
as you do, yeah.
It's very complicated. I have to say though, this is the play that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah. So they got really quick plant control here, and then as the defenders are pushing up, Vastara doesn't let them come to them. She's going to take quick control here, to the point where I think we even saw her celebrating a little too early. She got a little excited. Like unique, I like the stage wall, of course, here from J2. They always show a lot of creativity, but here we go see Vastara coming out, getting those quick kills, and then they even go and hunt down the operator.
Yeah, it's very special, right? Because you see Bastarda moving away, and she knows that she's getting shot by the Odin, she knows that she has the calls from the rest of the team. But moving forward, we're talking about, is this enough for G2? And the reason why we're doing it is because the other day, when they played against Cloud9, things were not looking too good. Out of 8 rounds that they played on the attack, they only managed to win 1 of them. And who has to step up? Well, the main initiator, we're going to call for them, because she's going to be the one shutting the other team down and enabling her teammates at the same time. She did not have the most brilliant performance at the beginning of this match. We saw a couple of mistakes coming from her, and we're not used to it. So Mimi needs to step up, and knowing that they do not have the jet, they do not have the extra mobility that they might need coming and opening on the sides. We need Mimi to step up.
Yeah, we do indeed.
Yeah, of course, and she's a veteran. She's gonna.
Can I say that I just feel right at home seeing G2 versus Team Liquid at the scoreline? I just feel an EMEA, you know. This is
You forget that Liquid are an EMEA team. But yeah, 6-6 at the scoreline. But will it be enough for G2 though to get that 6 rounds on defense? We will find out now. Pansy and Hypok, over to you.
Yeah, you're right. That's what we were waiting for. Is this going to be enough? A couple question marks around Mimi. Does need to now activate herself on this half, become far more present in these rounds, because as much as, yes, we saw the resurgence of G2 there, Liquid were off to a fantastic start, and it took heroics to get G2 back to this scoreline.
For sure, yeah, and with Mary heating up in that first half, really you look towards Bastarda and Natchi over on the side of Liquid to really slow down, limit G2's opportunities in the early round to put Mary in a position to do damage. Early info though, Bastarda will actually catch a 3rd member as well. A 4th maybe with the frenzy tap, but it's a double swing. Bastarda, lucky to get away.
Flash, turned, Mary so quick with it, and Mimi's the one to make the most of it. Turns the flash just out of the smoke. No smoke criminals here today. Giuliano up and over the wall though. This is getting a little bit messy here. Liquid happy to fight, but look at the spike flying in towards the B site. Giuliano's just gonna sit here and backhand them all. 2 quick kills! That's the Giuliano you need to be seeing.
Holding down the fort in mid. Beautiful stuff from Giuliano here in the first round of the second half. We've seen this play previously from Liquid, this flash out on contact from Bastarda in mid. This time around though, Mimi to pick up both kills. Must have heard that death segment. And even here, it's like I said, Bastarda kind of on an island initially with his first peak. Lucky to get away with her life, honestly.
Give me a crumb of that aim, please. Clean. And yeah, starting off perfectly to try and create a bit of distance on the scoreboard. 7-6, sitting quite close here. Just classics, obviously no headhunters or anything of that business coming out for Liquid. So the protocol list for G2 really will be, let's try and note if there's a stack. Let's see if we can find some of these players. And I feel as though that may have been enough to indicate it.
Probably a big indicator to see Bastarda over towards B site and not in mid here. So maybe reading into this, I mean, it is the correct read. Only really Natchi to hold down the fort on tree, but doubt there's going to be too much pressure on G2. Only classics across the board noted. Nothing really to put to use in this round for Liquid. Even coming back to that statement in the first half, not G2 can establish any early momentum. We'd see the 5-round streak. It'd be great if they can keep everything from this round here.
Nice, quick little pick there. But you're right, it's talking about how clean they can keep this, you know, really strengthen that bonus round that then can potentially challenge the buy that will be coming back in here for Liquid in the next round coming up. So let's see what chip damage can be done. Sitting quite comfortably in the post plant here. Currently looking at Liquid, working their way back around towards heaven, a little late though, so it's going to be hard to bring any of those classics to a range that will work in CDRN. Wait and see if they catch anyone on the exits as well. So this will be a matter of G2 keeping it clean. 4 seconds to go. Mary has found DRN, so that could be the escape path they need. And that's one found. It might be... Oh, lovely work. Little mistake there, I'd say, from Mimi. Could have backed away from that, I feel. Because that is a Bulldog. Does it get to keep to hand? No. Okay, so it doesn't get drawn over. They do lose 2 players. Could have been 4.
Benefit being it's essentially 3 rifles kept across, right? The Vandal, the 2 Bulldogs. So possibility here, even for Mary to even just run the headhunter here. Great stuff from G2 though. Like I said, it was enough of an indicator to see Bastardo pinged on that knife over towards B. No nonsense, head over to A. Even actually a light shield coming through for Nachi in favour of some utility. Bastardo over towards B once again though. Looks like he might get a dart and a flash here.
Ooh. Quick show of force though. Deals with that very early on. Only Mimi noted initially.
I should note the pistol as well. If that's almost going to be a little bit of a bait to come in. It's Mimi and Petra with pistols here. Just ghosts in hand.
Oh, Mary hear this, yes!
She is so sharp today,
Yeah,
Lauren.
the little lion is doing so much damage. Bastardo now put under pressure. Does have that rifle, needs to be bailed out. The pinch coming in through from Market. Petra takes her down. And a quick escape route for Daiki trying to get towards the back of Boathouse. Has the opportunity on one, didn't get it. But a bite of the cherry for the second time works out well. But overwhelmed. G2 are on the site, forced standing. And these are rifles they get in hand. They can go on a shopping spree over towards that B site.
Yeah, nothing really for Naxi to do, and this might even opt to hold on to the rifle. Looking as if that's going to be the case. Fantastic. Oh, there's so much damage done onto Bastardo with just the pistols. Like I said, it's the shock dart to close out that kill. Absolute disaster for Team Liquid here in round 15.
Yeah, this one does make me worry a little bit, because when we look to the map pool, as this will be a save, if we see them chasing, we can kind of talk about it. But when we look to the map pool, you see Breeze, you're like, okay, well, you know, Reyna going probably back out for Giuliano. That wouldn't be too much of a surprise. And that looks extremely good. We've seen that several times now. Icebox, I still think, is a very solid map for G2 as well. I think, you know, the later end of this map pool, this veto, sits in their favor. So, you know, I get a little worried if I see that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you come back to, obviously, Icebox with Suzu running that Omen versus Liquid, and just how much they were able to really catch Liquid off guard. And we're talking about how Liquid were such a prep-heavy team.
Yeah.
Things like the Reyna pick. Big stuff famine, right? It's exactly,
we've seen some really unique stuff. Now, the hunt there did get shut down. Mary does get caught at the end, but that's fine. You can already see the damage that it will do to the economy after this. And of course, for G2, it starts to swell. They should have at least a buy-in pocket at this point, really seeing towards 5K, 4K. Ult cycle starting to be worked towards as well. Starting to look a little better here for G2.
Yeah, the problem being not for Liquid.
Nope. No, Liquid are in a bad position, Mike.
Two off the Blade Storm. It's a Stinger and a Vandal to bring into this. Couple of Sheriffs. Actually, 3 towards mid here. And G2 heavily focused outside A. Actually, I'm not even sure anybody gets pinged on that knife initially. But at least here the... oh, Bastardo's actually found a kill. So Naxi actually cycling that rifle across. We are to punish Giuliano. And now with the sound cues over towards A.
Lovely paranoia too.
DRN and Nachi looking to actually hold down the fort.
And they had to use that rifle. Bastardo had to be the one to make something happen. The others down to Stingers, Sheriffs, and the classic with Naxi. So going back to police this potentially. And actually deal with Bastardo. So sharp. Mary is ridiculous in this game. The new generation looking damn good. Mimi, fair amount of utility left to invest as well. Doesn't actually get away with anything. That Stinger, close range. Could have a little bit of work if they do get lazy on their way in.
Liquid still stacked up here, though. One towards sight, one in heaven. Actually going to pull the trigger on the burst, but Mary still turns on him.
Mary's the one to deal with it. Now noting one towards Dice, one towards heaven. They should know these two players, and quickly Mimi gets towards the site. Plant going to be next on the docket. Spike going to go down. And now time on their side. Liquid left with 2. Rifle is in Naxi's hands, though, so that is still something to look towards. Maybe find a bit of presence. Ping down, tagged up. Naxi put in that terrible position again. What are you meant to do with this? 3 players in front of you. Face the music. Looks like that's what she's choosing, and it's down by Mimi. Double digits for G2. They are starting to get into the swing of this game.
A commanding lead already. Even here with Bastardo finding that opener. You can see actually holding on to about 2,500 to try and get this operator online. So expect her to be put in a position. That's beautiful from Mary. Like I said, looking so sharp today. Even actually here with Nachi, up close with the Stinger, unable to really do any damage on the way in.
Face down, guns up, there.
That operator better be the remedy.
It's a very deep hold on mid, though.
We haven't seen that kind of slow default from G2 ever. It doesn't really allow you to get those picks to, you know, navigate the map like this. So I'm hoping Asada can find some positioning. That's not bad, though. Now she's going to find Mimi instantly. That's quite telling, finding Mimi. Feels like it's going to be more behind it. Backing away from this.
The timing's actually disastrous here. No res for Giuliano. Needs this orb and a kill to get Mimi back on her feet. Bastardo does put that operator to use. It's Mary on the other end of it.
Yep. And the door looking like it's starting to shut on this round. G2 not finding any of those opportunities they wanted. Mary gone. Mimi removed. That's flashes. That's so much they could have worked with. But looking across the map for other options, and you can already see Inachi posted on this angle. The one-way, very nice to play around for DRN2. So G2 looking for, they're going to have to really spread thin if they want to try and find a couple of opportunities. But as we can see, information now free-flowing through from the Liquid side.
A bit of a fake here as well. This smoke and the wall going to go out from Giuliano. And actually it's
They don't
pulled
fall
Liquid
away.
off short.
Come on. Oh dear. Oh dear, DRN, good work. Uh-oh, but a shot missed. Bastardo gives them an opportunity, and Petra unleashed, punishing DRN. Has to fall away and respect this. That's the plan going to come on through. And the unknown quantity is Giuliano up and over looking for a chance, but no, as soon as that audio cue is heard, staying themselves. Giuliano now starts to go on the prowl. Petra's noted one. Giuliano, the timing could be everything, and now overwhelmed. Too many players as Petra put in the 1v4. Bastardo holding towards heaven. Knives now out, slowly getting towards the side, finds one, looks for a follow-up, doesn't quite get it cleanly, 31 HP, it's not enough! Liquid holding on with 3 players left alive.
Finally answering back here. Bastardo, like I said, putting that operator to use. We have to carry that across, but Giuliano, like I said, almost making that possible. The timing of the smoke in that wall drew both players off shot. I mean, DRM was sat on that one way, and it was locking down that position. I think actually Nachi as well posted up on it. I'm curious to see, though, what support system's actually going to get Astada in a position to find these picks. Like you said, it's very, very one-sided in terms of the default from G2. There's not really wide presence, not an extremity to pressure here. And yeah, it feels a little awkward dedicating that operator to one site or the other. But with the way G2 are playing, I mean, other than this here, there will be a little bit of pressure towards mid.
Let's find out.
This could be it.
This could be the time to shine. This is the perfect chance for Bastardo. Gets Mimi down again, and Mimi is being questioned time and time again. Not coming up with the answer she needs. Quick moves up middle, though. Going to be looking towards the B site. Mary leading the way. Just pointing towards CT, but the stairs could be an issue. Mary making a bit of a meal of it so far. Giuliano does get the res. Mimi back on the feet, but it's Bastardo here towards CT. Big angle to play on this time. Smoked off. Oh, that's huge commitment from Bastardo. Quick shot as well. Nachi still holding towards CT. It ain't clean, it ain't pretty now. G2 being shredded by Liquid.
The Hunter's Fury from all the way on backside leaves Petra. The last one standing here, spike in hand. We're going to cut sound and hope for somebody to drift out of position, overextend just a little bit. No way.
Oh, oh God.
The stars almost aligned
They
for
certainly
both of
did.
those there. But Bastardo finds the third.
And we questioned that operator positioning, but that time you said if there was
That's
a
the
round...
first switch up from G2, yeah. The first
See
time
ya.
we've actually seen some presence towards tiles. We're actually rewarded here, almost actually finding the collab. Put the res in a very awkward, this was fantastic. And the confidence to swing up here with the updraft.
Yeah, there was this weird moment of stars coming together, and you're thinking,
off kilter with the ultimates here for G2. Again, actually 2 members, Mary down at 800, Glance at 100 credits, so purchase will be a little bit uncomfortable going forward from this. It's actually an opportunity for Liquid to really apply the pressure here and potentially tie things up if they can win out this buy round.
Starter feeling confident now.
I
New
said
look here.
switch up, yep. And Rez used in the previous, so.
This is shut down. Beautiful stuff from Liquid. Post up on both extremities.
Yeah, 3 people to swing through on the opposite side of the map. That's Bastardo on a solo mission to find this opener. Now left to Petra and Glance to try and recover this round.
I like what we're seeing from Liquid here, starting to really come into their own, finding their footing, sharp stuff. Petra put to bed. Glance now. 1v5. To navigate through market, and you can know that he's watching it, and still quick as before. Prime Gaming flawless. Liquid now powering back up, getting that scoreline looking almost all even. And let's talk about what they did this round, Mike, because that was a different look. Again, they're showing new faces here.
Like I said, with that previous round, a little bit of pressure towards Bastardo, obviously finding the opener in the previous. This time around, feeling as if she's going to find value towards B main. It just happens to be Mary on this solo peak, and like I said, 3 members of Liquid on the other extremity. It's first time, I mean, we talked about G2 not really stacking up in any sort of default. It's drifting one way or the other. This time around, numbers advantage on both sides of the map for Liquid.
Looking tattered here for G2. And on the other side, of course, they now get the buy in pocket. They get, that nice advantage building back through. They could.
And then some, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely start tearing into this game.
Take flight.
Now they need to find that operator. There it is. Petra going to find it towards the top of middle. Obviously not quite as quick to rotate, quick to adjust as Mary, for example.
First time we've actually seen a slower start around some util. The Owl drones to spot out the operator.
They found so much space towards short here.
Yeah, and there's no Killjoy set up there this time. It's over towards B.
So this is a huge issue. They can isolate Team Liquid over towards main. Yes, still a problem because the spike's back up there, but that's something they're going to have to deal with after the fact. Already looking worse for Weber. Starters made it around in time and fighting them, trying to pour on through from short. This is a huge amount of information, but they can't do anything with it. And Giuliano caught with hands out here. Just 2, Giuliano and Glance. Spawns have a shot at getting a rifle, anything. Not just yet. They're cornered on the site, surrounded on all fronts. Giuliano still going to find another 2v3 now. Glance barely breathing. How much
30
more
seconds left.
can one player do? Heal goes in. 2 towards short, 1 towards heaven. The spike is non-recoverable. Unless Glance, I don't know, gets a kill, gets a TP, goes for a run. Giuliano went for something, didn't get it. 10 seconds now. This one is looking all but over.
10 seconds
Glance can't do
left.
anything with this. Just going to keep the rifle. But that is a big amount of space found, but quickly filled, though.
Big commitment to A main once again, this time around with 2 members. Like I said, that Killjoy setup previously invested on short to enable some safety blanket, right?
Yeah.
This time around, though, Bastardo just catches it on the cross from door, yeah. I mean, because Nachi and it was a DRN, I think, over towards main, were really feeling the pinch. Tons of damage done.
Just about getting there in time. It really was seconds away from.
I mean, if anything, it's the paranoia is the only reason that actually Giuliano and Petra aren't literally just W-king, knife out towards main.
They would have been there faster.
Yeah.
Because they caught, I think, both of them in that. So now that's given G2 a couple of glimpses under the hood here, right, of what Liquid are up to. But do they switch? Do they change? And, well, you can see the utility placement. Absolutely they have.
Again, that Killjoy setup on short. Just to make sure this A main stack is some kind of contingency. The drone going to come out once again here.
But look at the mid presence now with all of this utility
They found
invested
another
towards
gap.
short. They've kind of maybe read this after getting the knife towards A and spoiling the KJ, but still it's Bastardo now in between enemy lines, 1 in front, 1 to the back, and now 1 to the side. This is dangerous. TP taken. They want to get there. Bastardo with another bite.
Giuliano's 1 HP.
Giuliano barely breathing but still standing. Murray's gone down. Now who's remaining? It's a 3v3 on either side. Spike still held towards B main. The cross is not safe. And no, it's definitely not safe until then. Mimi does get the kill necessary as DRN on the site doing the dance. As Mimi is right there on the other side, goes down, and now the 1v1, Giuliano up against DRN.
DRN's just slipped through, though. Actually going to retreat all the way to spawn. I think Giuliano's going to anticipate this whatsoever. Waiting for the peak to come back through on lane, actually. Giuliano doesn't want to drop to give away the sound cue.
Yeah, smart stuff here, Giuliano.
30 seconds left.
Biding her time, 27 seconds, maybe trying to add a little bit of paranoia, but Omen in the hands of DRN, born into that. Going to keep cool. Already down on the site though, tap on the spike.
Giuliano actually gets the second heal off here as well, so back to 100.
DRN's closing in, Giuliano under the gun. Comes out on top, 11 to 10, but again, a very close round. But let's talk about the reads here, Mike, because this feels like a mind game and a half between these two.
I said 3 pinged, a little slow to react initially from that information over towards A main, but finding a massive gap in the defenses of Team Liquid once again. I mean, even after this ping for the knife, nobody from Liquid moved from A main. Nope. There wasn't anybody hightailing it towards mid. There was no contingency towards that setup. G2 can keep kind of threading the needle here and find space around the map, because previously, think about these factors in mid. It was Bastarda posted up. Yeah. Just dry with an operator. No flash, no arrow, nothing.
Speaking of nothing, Bastarda just walks out A main. While they were dealing with utility sent deep, she's already found the pick. That's perfect. Mimi again gets deleted early on. And it's somewhat back to a normal round until then. Petra, similar scenes on the other side. Openers on both sides of the map, and a quick TP.
Oh.
Considered by glance.
Let's say, actually, in full vision of Naxi, who has to hit the panic button here. The
but look at Giuliano, the timing on this. She can get anywhere she wants in this. This is huge amounts of info. Does she decide to go heaven? I guess Bastarda then gets the same opportunity to play in between by tree. Here's one. Yeah, surely heard the step. There it is. Oh, but still gets to keep their life. Wall goes up now. Short is still a problem, but the smoke's there. Good play coming in from G2. Wall goes down. Door shut. Daiki has to respect this. Sit back deep. Lucky to still be standing.
Daiki's going to try and play off a shock dart here, or just wait for them to stack up for the recon. See, 3 towards short here.
They got any utility? I guess Daiki's got the most, right? And Bastarda.
Mary's going to have her hands full here.
Oh, the little lion. What? This time, can't do it. Paranoia sent in, slows down the roll, but the dash in with the smoke. They can try and draw the fire. That second string, who's there? Steps outside, steps out of the smoke, and still fighting. And Daiki now in the 1v1. Petra, put on the docket and falls. Daiki, perfect play. After being challenged so quickly in heaven, staying alive has paid off.
And a crucial ping to come through as well to reveal Petra's position. It looked like a fantastic hole for G2 initially. Liquid sending 3 through short. Actually, Bastarda the one to really actually break through, find that kill onto Mary, just with that pre-fire through that smoke.
Really nice.
And a little bit of a change-up. Bastarda had the money in the previous to buy an operator. It's just hyper-aggressive with the rifle. Finds that pick outside A main onto Mimi, I believe.
Wow. Oh, and you're right. Look at that. Wow. Couldn't have come at a better time then. And speaking of timing and economy that you were discussing there and money, what a time for it to shatter for G2. They are down to Sheriffs. Do have the res for Giuliano. 2 away from Mary Zolt. Petra 1 off, but they're going to need something to work out. And have they found space again?
Liquid almost spinning the wheel on some of these setups.
Really risky.
This time around, retreating away from it. Bastarda going to post up with that operator in heaven once again in a double stack towards short. Glance and Giuliano edging closer and closer.
Smoking in. It's Mary to fall over towards B main. There's the trade though. And actually DRN's got to be careful how she plays this. I'm sure the temptation would have been to try and shut that down, get the trade back, but actually keeps her cool. Decides to hit the brakes now. Need to consider where the spike is. They've had some success. They could potentially fall back for this res if they really feel there's a viability to this round. Mary did fall over towards B main.
It's looking like the plan. Daiki actually floating back and forth in spawn here. It's an opportunity to punish the res with the Hunter's Fury. He did actually come over towards this position on the back of that pressure towards A.
The setup as
30
well.
seconds left.
It's a risky res anyway.
Yep, still going to commit for it. Standing there. Hunter's Fury, scatter, and try and run away. Mary's gone down again. And now the quick burst through by main. Wall goes up, and it's aim training. 2 quick kills for Naxi there, perfect. Going to try and get themselves to a side, but the spike is on the other side of the wall. Oh, dearie me, it's all gone wrong. 8 seconds left. Can't even get the spike back at this point. This one's done for.
That's heartbreaking.
Just fell on the other side.
even this round here, but Bastardo going to seal the deal. Liquid find their 12th. Massive investment though. See, actually, if Liquid have got anything left, yeah, Nachi on that null command. G2, Hunter's Fury of their own, and the Tour de Force.
Huge round for Liquid. Even if it got a little scrappy at the end, if that spike didn't, end up where it was, with all this little piece of success coming through, that potential off the back of this pressure, it does still manage to put 12 next to Liquid's name. That's huge for them. As this game started to close up a bit, get a little bit more dangerous, they have kept themselves in this. One more round, and it's map 1 for them. Otherwise, OT beckons.
Start actually stare off here.
Yep. And the Knife's going to keep her locked in this position. She wants to stay. She feels she's got the fight in this one. Mary not quite up for that challenge just yet.
First time we've seen actually a little bit of variation to this A side setup. Actually stacked all the way and Cubby on short. Bastardo not in heaven this time around, so DRN going to have her hands full if she wants to challenge ahead of this site hit.
DRN is so
I'm sure if Glance actually spotted on the cross there.
I just seeing
now
rotating
definitely.
fast, but yeah, of course, now they're going to be pulling in, but they're ahead of the smoke. Mimi's going to find Nachi. This is offset timing. This is OT calling. And Team Liquid, I think they might have just dropped the ball in this one. And it's a little bit of it feels almost underwhelming to see it go down this way. Brilliant offset of the timing for G2 there, but again, Liquid caught sleeping a little, unawares of the progress that had been made as Daiki, Bastardo, and Naxi have a chance at this retake. But it has to be picture perfect. And they got to get it started now.
A lot of time already elapsed here. And with that operator on the retake as well, no Blade Storm used in the previous. Gonna make it even harder for Bastardo to find some value here. And Mary posted up on the Tour de Force as well.
Yeah,
One kill here is going to slow down this entire push.
Just about turns away from it as they do start swinging out from heaven. She's going to have that look back in a second here. There it is. They may start falling like flies. They are. And one by one, Petra takes us to OT. It's 12 apiece. And again, Team Liquid, so many times it feels like they are right on that verge of the first half, looking so sewn up. That first run, they went on perfect. Second half, similar scenes. They had answers, Mike. Yeah. And it falls away.
Again, this is unfortunate as well. Nachi actually popping the null command as she swings out of the smoke. So no possibility even of getting that area of effect online, but it's the timing for DRN. Like I said, it's just passing each other back and forth. I think actually with Glance. No smoke down on main. Yeah. The Paranoia invested immediately as soon as DRN spotted on Generator. And the first time, like I said, they've switched things up for that A main hold.
You're right.
Nachi tucked into Cubby. It didn't look as kind of structured as these previous holds. Like I said, DRN just needs to play full retake there because could be overwhelmed. A number of times G2 stacked up to pressure that A main setup.
Big info off the knife. Oh, what a big shot for Mary, though. Bastardo denied any quick access and a quick TP. Again, not overstaying welcome. Does leave a gap available, potentially, for Liquid, but there's pressure on the other side. G2 this time, hyper proactive, pushing extremities. Sadly for Liquid, I need to really get their footing here, barely starting their foray into this round. Mary gets contact towards middle. Another spotted. Mary now. Playing chicken with the Owl drone. Giuliano is closing in around spawn. Giuliano's so close to this as well. They're aware of it. Daiki is looking this way, but it's all a matter of timing. The cape. You know what they say about heroes and capes, shouldn't have them on. Dangerous. Mimi committed, just going to stand and spray, knowing that Giuliano eventually will be their downfall. The connection's good on it, but DRN still going to be standing still. Going to be firing.
Going to have the TP here with the orb.
Where'd you take it? On the run we go, over towards B. This is going to be a plant.
Going to be able to find two 1v1s as well. Mary on the operator, posted up in spawn. Petra actually coming back towards B main. Did Mary hear those steps?
Not sure. Just on the verge of audio range, but knowing Mary, she might step that smoke. And it's being read, but Mary, the frenzy in hand. Starting to feel herself a little here. First one chalked up in OT.
No nonsense from G2 here.
Nah.
Looking to be decisive in the first round of overtime. Immediately on the back of that pressure elsewhere, Giuliano just swinging out B main. Even here, look at the minimap. Petra and Giuliano just pushing this entire time.
Yeah, wonderful work between the two, making the map feel tiny, making it feel there was only one site really available. and closing in well. Got a little dangerous at the end there. But it is 13-12 Liquid. How much you got in yet? Do you have the depth to hold on? Because they look good on this side, Mike. This was the one that looked like they came back into the world of the living. An early pressure towards B main.
Bastardo will see the trap placed at least. So G2 anticipating a little push through. Daiki trying to deal with that trap actually to bait Bastardo in a little bit. Fakes the steps away. But the drone's going to be the second problem. Daiki desperate to try and deal with it for Bastardo.
It's alive though.
Yeah. Dash used, so can't really post up in an aggressive angle anymore.
They're testing the waters throughout though, but so far it does seem as though Liquid are going, you know...
Going through the motions now, drawing out some utility. Previously it was a heavy stack towards one side. That paranoia is good though. DRN going to try and get this one way up.
That should be good for actually, no, Mary's ahead of it. Smoke goes in towards the street, so they do have access towards the site. Now you can see that sheep overwhelmed. Mimi's in on the site. Spike on the way as well. And Giuliano starting to go into her own. The final three players try and make a stand here. Naxi, Bastardo, and Daiki need a pick. They need a clean pick here. And Mimi just buying a couple of seconds over towards Heaven as well.
So much stall.
Still 2 flashes as well if she wants
Look
to
at
play
where Giuliano is.
Jeez, Giuliano, come on. And yeah, the door's still shut.
The
They've
awareness
still
is
got
there
time.
though, the turret was invested.
It was. Now last time that pre-fire was on the money. Mary spins around Bastardo, we say we needed 1, she's found 2, and dives in, puts her life on the line for us down to a 2v2, but it's Giuliano, and had to give away the game, but Mimi was there as a safe pair of hands, but 1v1! Daiki gets caught in the cross, it's Giuliano to get him to 14.